Hi, my name is Michael, and I am here today with my mother, Paige Held, and she's gonna introduce herself and tell a little about what she does.
Hi, thanks so much, Michael, for having me. My name is Paige Held, and I am the founder and co-owner of the Yoga Joint. We have 6 studios here in South Florida, and we are getting ready to open up our next location in Pembroke Pines, and we are in the process of looking in Miami, Coral Springs, Hollywood, Florida. Pre-COVID, we were signing leases at these locations, but obviously, like everybody else, we had to pivot and step back a little bit from the expansion and rearrange some of our business models. So we now are getting ready to launch an online program. We have a current online program that we do now for yoga and our fit classes and our restore meditation classes, and it's been going really well. However, we know that there's a much bigger market that we are excited to dive into. So we start our shift program hopefully mid-January, February time. So we're excited to launch that.
Wow, that's really cool. Why don't you give a little background about how you got into yoga and how long you've been doing this for the kids at home?
Yeah, of course. So I started yoga when I was young. I dabbled in it a little bit at the age of 13, 14. My parents were going through a terrible divorce, and we had a therapist, my brothers and I, my siblings and I, had a therapist that suggested I get into yoga and try yoga and meditation. Well, at 13, I thought that was really strange and had no idea what to expect. And I went to a class with my older brother at the time, and it was very strange. And I thought that they were all sort of weird. But I really loved how I felt after. I loved the movements. I loved sweating. I loved the things that the teacher was saying. After that first class, my parents' divorce escalated and got worse, and I was not able to go to classes. And then a few years later, when I was 16, I started to go religiously. And from that point on, I think I've taken, a few days off here and there, maybe for a cold, definitely to have my children. But otherwise, yoga and meditation has been a daily regime of mine for the last 30 years.
That's really cool too. Well, now that you've told us all your background and what you do, why don't you start explaining kind of what yoga is and what you expect to experience when a beginner like the kids at home go into yoga and meditation. Just give them kind of like an idea of what to expect.
Yoga and meditation is the science of movement yoga is the science of movement that allows you to move into different areas of your body that's going to help your mind. And then meditation, a lot of people think that meditation is about having no thoughts, but it's actually impossible for us humans to have no thoughts at all. An average adult human has about 60,000 thoughts in a day. So a child has a little bit less, preteens, teens have a little bit more, and then an adult has about 60,000 thoughts in a day. Now, that's a lot of thoughts. So people immediately think that meditation is about having none of that. That's the exact opposite. Meditation is about feeling and listening to the thoughts and not responding to them, and just choosing to be the observer of your thoughts instead of constantly reacting. And because the brain has neuroplasticity and the brain can have muscle memory, just like if you wanted to build your bicep, you'd pick up a weight and you do reps. The brain has the same exact capacity to learn anything that you want to teach it. The unfortunate part about the brain is that it wants to constantly be comfortable. And what we now know through science and studying meditation and yoga is that it's really when we get uncomfortable and we experience discomfort where we're really growing and expanding. But most of us, no matter what age you are, we don't want to experience discomfort. We do not want to be uncomfortable for 1 second of the day. Our brains are constantly searching for ways to make us feel comfortable. So the practice of meditation and yoga can be very uncomfortable in the beginning. However, the more you practice, the less uncomfortable it gets. And then that's when all of the benefits of meditation and of the yoga practice can start to take place. So there's so many benefits of the actual yoga practice. Because our spine houses our central nervous system, when we move our spine in yoga the way we do, it allows us to produce hormones in the body that help us feel good. And having those feel-good hormones rushing through your body daily is the best thing we can do for ourselves, especially in this day and age with everything we have going on, social media, pandemic, school, virtual schools, everything that we have going on. So movement of our body, movement of our spine. When we move our spine in yoga, we produce what I like to call a dose of good hormones. And you can think of the word dose, D-O-S-E. You can think dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And when you have this really special cocktail of hormones rushing through your body, especially when you're a preteen and teen, it's just so valuable for how you feel. The yoga practice allows you to dig deep into yourself, and having a relationship with yourself is the best person you can have a relationship with in this lifetime. So we spend a lot of time cultivating relationships with other people, but truly the best relationship to have in this life that we get is with yourself. Because when you really love yourself and understand yourself, you set the precedence on how you want other people to love and treat you.
Okay. And now that we've kind of dove into what yoga and meditation is, could you maybe give us like a brief explanation of the movements that that younger children could be doing at home to benefit themselves that also relates to yoga and meditation?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, movement of your spine is so important. So some basic poses that you could do at home would be a cat-cow. So you get into a tabletop position where your palms and your shoulders and your elbows are in one line, and then your hips and knees are in one line. And then you move through your spine in cat-cows. So you let your belly dip, you roll your shoulder blades back, you take your eye gaze up, and the most important part of this is that you breathe. So you inhale, look up. As you exhale, you push down into your palms, you push through the knees, shins, tops of the feet, and you round and curl your spine, taking your chin to your chest. And then you do that again. Inhale, let your belly dip, relax your shoulders, take your eye gaze up. And then as you exhale, you round and curl, chin to chest, belly to spine, rounding the spine. So when you do this wave-like motion with your spine, you're creating something called subluxation. When the spinal column moves in this wave-like motion, that's when you're starting to create those hormones in the body that make you feel good. So it's a natural way to get out of fight or flight. When we're in fight or flight, we feel anxious, we feel nervous, we feel frustration. When you're in fight or flight, you are in something called your limbic system. This is the middle part of your brain. This is where you feel super frustrated, right? And a lot of us in life feel this way, no matter what age you are, but especially as teenagers, preteens, especially early 20s, we don't have the coping mechanisms yet. We don't have the tools yet. So moving your spine back and forth like that is going to immediately help you to calm your central nervous system, getting you out of that fight or flight. So the medical term for all this, for those of you interested in the medical term of this, is getting us from our sympathetic nervous system to our parasympathetic nervous system. So most people walking around are walking around in their sympathetic nervous system. The yoga practice, the movement of your spine, the movement of your body in yoga, coupled with the breathing techniques, coupled with meditation, you can do them separately. The yoga practice does become a moving meditation. All these things help you get out of fight or flight and get into the parasympathetic nervous system. And then the really cool thing about yoga and meditation is that once you learn how to get to that place, you don't even have to be practicing yoga to drop into that place. So you can be in a test and you can be feeling frustration and anxiety. And because you have the tools now from your yoga practice, from your meditation practice, you can use those tools in test taking. You can use those tools when having a conversation with somebody where you feel conflict. You can use those tools when you feel like your day is not going according to your plan. So that's the greatest gift that yoga and meditation gives us, is it gives us tools in our toolbox to be able to use during our days, no matter what we are confronted with, to be a better human, to feel less stress, to sleep better, to create deeper connections with ourselves and with one another.
Thank you so much. The last thing that I think I want to go over just for all the kids at home is just a brief explanation of some of the benefits that yoga and meditation can bring to kids their age.
Yoga and meditation can bring an overall sense of joy. A lot of us are searching for happiness, and the yoga practice teaches us that happiness comes and goes. But to connect with joy is a decision that you make. Your mind is very powerful. So if you want to feel joy and you want to feel connection and you want to feel satisfaction in your life, you have the power to do that. The yoga and the meditation gives you the power to harness whatever feelings you want to harness in your day-to-day life.
Thank you so much, Mom or Paige. Thank you for being here with me today. We would love to have you on here another day. And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. I'm so happy to talk about yoga and meditation. And anytime you want me to do a yoga class for you or guided meditation, I would be so happy. I was so lucky to find yoga and meditation when I was young. Like a lot of you listeners out there right now, and it definitely shaped the person I am today, and it definitely helped me to have a great relationship with myself, and that is the most important relationship, guys, that you can have in this lifetime. So practice yoga, practice meditation, practice self-care, love yourself no matter what, and go love each other.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.